Picture a tiger, 300 pounds of muscle, teeth that can punch through bone like it's drywall, and a strike speed faster than you'd ever even see it coming. It can run faster than you, see better than you in the dark, smell you from 100 yards away, and kill you in about 4 seconds flat. Now picture you. No claws, no fangs, bad night vision, slower than a house cat over any real distance. On paper, if a tiger decided to attack a human being right now, today, this should be over before it even started. And yet, here's a thing that should genuinely bother you. The vast majority of tigers, lions, wolves, and bears that come within striking distance of a human being, close enough to kill in a single move, simply don't. They freeze, they back off, they watch from cover and then quietly leave. Apex predators, animals that take down buffalo and elk and full-grown moose for a living, routinely choose not to engage with the single weakest, slowest, most poorly equipped primate on the planet. So what's actually going on in that half-second hesitation? The answer involves inherited trauma passed down across thousands of generations, a built-in threat calculator in every predator's brain, a chemical signal you're broadcasting that you don't even know about, and a hard lesson written into animal instinct by something far more dangerous than any single tiger ever could be: us.
Let's start with something researchers have measured directly, because this isn't folklore, it's documented behavior. Field studies tracking large predators fitted with GPS collars in places ranging from the forests of India to the mountains of the American West show the same pattern again and again. When a predator's collar data shows it passing within easy striking range of a human, an actual attack happens in only a tiny fraction of those encounters. We're talking about animals walking past sleeping campers, past hikers on narrow trails, past isolated farm workers, dozens or hundreds of times, and choosing to simply move on almost every single time. Wildlife biologists studying mountain lions in the western United States have found something even stranger. Cameras placed near lion kills, places where the animal had already taken down a deer and was actively feeding, picked up footage of hikers walking within feet of the carcass and the lion itself, completely unaware, while the lion stayed hidden and silent rather than defending its meal. That's not weakness, that's calculation. So if attacking us should be, biologically speaking, a trivial task, why does it almost never actually happen? Technique 1. The first answer kills one of the biggest myths people have about predator instinct, which is the idea that a hungry predator will attack anything that moves. That's not remotely true. A predator's killing instinct is built around an extremely specific template, refined over millions of years of hunting the exact same handful of prey species. A wolf's brain is wired to read the gait of a deer, the particular way it bolts, the angle it drops its head when it's exhausted. None of that wiring applies to us. We don't move like prey. We don't smell like prey. Mostly because we're covered in synthetic fabric, sunscreen, soap, and whatever we had for lunch. We don't sound like prey when we panic because we yell instead of bolting in a straight line. To a predator's hunting circuitry, a human registers as an error message, something the system doesn't have a category for. And here's the part that should genuinely surprise you. Unfamiliar targets don't trigger aggression in most animals. They trigger caution. The exact same instinct that makes a deer freeze at a strange smell is what makes a lion hesitate at the sight of an upright, oddly shaped, badly smelling creature it's never successfully hunted before. Technique 2. The second answer is about something you've probably never thought of as a weapon: your posture. Standing upright on 2 legs is, biologically speaking, a threat display. Watch any nature documentary, and you'll notice that when a chimpanzee, a bear, or a gorilla wants to look dangerous, it stands up. It's trying to look bigger than it actually is, because in the animal kingdom, size reads directly as danger. Humans do that by default, all day, every day, without even thinking about it. We are the only common land mammal whose resting position is the same posture every other animal uses specifically to intimidate.
Researchers studying predator behavior have noted that this matters even when the predator is objectively far larger and stronger than the human standing in front of it. The math doesn't actually have to favor the predator for the instinct to kick in. The shape alone sends a signal that says, this might cost me more than it's worth.
Technique 3. That brings us to the real engine driving almost all of this, the part that movies never get right. Predators are not reckless killing machines. They are extremely careful accountants running a constant cost-benefit analysis. Because in the wild, there's no emergency room. A torn muscle, a cracked tooth, a deep gash from a fight that goes wrong doesn't get stitched up. It either heals on its own while the animal is still expected to hunt and survive, or it doesn't heal and the animal slowly starves to death over the following weeks. Every potential attack is, biologically, a gamble against that exact outcome. And humans make for an absolutely terrible bet. We're unpredictable. We might run in a straight line, which triggers a chase response, or we might do something completely outside the predator's experience. Scream, throw something, stand our ground, swing a stick. Predators are extraordinarily good at reading the behavior of prey they've hunted 1,000 times. They have almost no read on us at all. And uncertainty, to an animal whose survival depends on minimizing injury, is one of the most dangerous things in the world.
Technique 4. Now here's where it gets genuinely dark and genuinely fascinating at the same time. A lot of this hesitation isn't something predators figure out fresh in the moment. It's something they're born with, baked directly into instinct by an extremely brutal filter running for thousands of years. Us. Humans have spent an almost unimaginable stretch of history actively hunting down the boldest, most aggressive members of every major predator species on the planet. The wolves that wandered too close to a settlement got shot. The lions that grew too comfortable around human camps got speared, then later hunted with rifles. The ones that survived long enough to reproduce were, generation after generation, the cautious ones, the ones that kept their distance. That selection pressure didn't just shape behavior, it shaped instinct itself, passed down genetically the same way fear of fire is. A leopard today has never personally watched a human kill another leopard, but somewhere in its nervous system, an ancient alarm still goes off the moment it catches our scent, an alarm built from the accumulated caution of every single ancestor who survived a close encounter with us by choosing not to engage.
So when you put all of this together, the unfamiliar smell and movement, the upright posture reading as a threat, the brutal cost-benefit math, and an inherited almost cellular level wariness passed down across thousands of generations, you start to see why that half-second hesitation exists at all. It's not one single reason, it's 4 separate systems stacked on top of each other, all independently arriving at the exact same conclusion. Don't engage. Whatever that thing actually is, it isn't worth the risk. And it's worth being honest about the exception to all of this, because the cases where predators don't hesitate follow an extremely consistent pattern, and it's almost never about the animal being naturally aggressive. It's almost always about something breaking the normal equation first. An animal that's old, injured, or missing teeth and can no longer take down its usual prey. An animal that's been fed by tourists enough times that it started associating humans with food instead of danger, which can unravel thousands of years of inherited caution in a matter of months. An animal pushed into desperation by a habitat that's been destroyed out from under it, with no normal prey left to hunt at all. The attacks that make headlines are almost never a healthy predator simply deciding humans look appetizing. They're a system failure, a calculation that broke down because the normal variables stopped applying. So next time you think about that tiger, the one with the muscle and the teeth and the 4-second kill time, remember that the math was never actually that simple. It wasn't holding back out of mercy, and it definitely wasn't holding back because it was scared of you specifically. It was running an inherited calculation built from an unfamiliar smell, a threatening silhouette, a brutal risk assessment, and the accumulated caution of every single ancestor who learned, the hard way, exactly what kind of creature we really are. The tiger never needed to know your name to hesitate. It just needed to recognize the species. And it did.